What's good, Souls of Thought family? You made it this far. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that notification bell if you want to know every time we drop something new. And we appreciate all the support. But we're going to jump right into this reaction video. We're not going to hold you. This is going to be muted so that this video isn't copyrighted, but we're going to get to it. So let's go.
Let me get 'em. Drink white and we drink brown.
So as you see there, we have another example of what we have pretty much been talking about for the past week or so. Just another example of Black fatigue, things that don't need to happen, things that just cause more attention than others. For those of you who's been living under a rock, there was a Louisiana graduation where it pretty much got out of hand. People started throwing stuff, throwing everything. They were dancing, they were twerking. Every student seemed like they were dancing as they got their diplomas. Like I tell people all the time, I take nothing away from people. I think it's amazing for people to graduate. I think it's amazing for people to move on with their education. I want to say congrats to those African American men and women who crossed that high school stage. With that being said, we have to start getting our young Black men and women ready for real life. And this is not an example of it, because we all have been to high school graduations and we know what they tell everyone at high school graduations. They even tell parents to hold their applause while your children are crossing the stage. I just recently left a Louisiana high school graduation. So I know what they're telling these young men and women. They know how they should be acting. And they all knew, because I know when I graduated, you couldn't do anything foolish across the stage. So they all knew they needed to wait till they got off the stage until they got their diplomas. With that being said, these are going to be our future college students going to your HBCs, your PWIs, and this could be your future educator in the Black community. This could be your next governor somewhere. Could be. Just because somebody does something foolish doesn't mean they don't have the potential, but these things will follow these young men and women. And it's something that we really have to start taking serious. It's about letting our young men and women know that everything you do will follow you. It'll perceive you. It'll go before you. People will always remember this class for what they did, and it's not going to be in a positive manner. And I know everybody is saying, "Oh, you overreact," and they were just dancing, they were just celebrating. And that's the issue with the whole world today. We do not care anymore about how things look, how things are perceived. We don't care anymore. And we have to get to a point where we do better. And I want you guys to hear, I know a lot of people aren't big fans of Officer Tatum, but he had a review of this as well. And I kind of want to share this with you guys so that you can hear his thoughts on it and what he thought about it. So we're going to get over here to old Officer Tatum, see what he has to say. And then we're going to wrap this old reaction video up. But I want to be able to not just hear my voice, but you can hear other people's voices as well. Here. All right.
Viral. Let's watch it together. This is let me speak to this real quick, because there's a lot of people with different opinions, and both opinions can be valid. Yet there's validation of opinion in reality. Let me explain what I mean by that. You have a graduation, And at a graduation at your school, you can act the way that your school allows you to act. If your school allows you to act like you about to see right here, that's your school allowing you to do so. If your school wants to be more strict, that's your school allowing you to be in a position where you are held to account. All right. You can do either one. Now, you got to go into the real world at some point. And that's where the controversy lies. What are you doing to prepare yourself for real world scenarios? And we're going to watch it together. And then I'm going to give my opinion of whether I think this is bad or not. Roll the clip.
Bow, roll it, a night, ayy. 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 Bow.
So as you can see there, also Tatum, I'm sure I know what his view is going to be. With that being said, his video you were able to hear some of the music that was playing. It was playing Boots on the Ground. Then they jumped off to some jigging type music, is what they call it in Louisiana. But as you see too, I want to talk about something because we talk about this a lot on my channel as well. These women are going to be your future moms. This is probably why we're having problems with divorce rates. This is probably why we're having problems with children raising children. Just a lack of control. We have a lack of control. And it sounded like the school said at the end, if you listen to the lady on the speaker, she said, now let's show them how we put this back together. So that looks like they were okay with this behavior, which is another issue, because once you start to be okay with certain behaviors, and this sounds crazy to people, but these are the type of people who get pulled over 5 to 6 years from now and are getting shot by police. Or they're doing something that they shouldn't have no business doing. And we don't think about it. We think about these things as isolated incidents. We don't think about it long term. And these are things that we have to get better at in the Black community. Nowhere in this where it's that appropriate. Period. I understand graduating is a great celebration. I applaud all the parents who were able to get their young men and women over the stage. Don't miss what I'm saying. Like I think it's a great thing that they all graduated. With that being said, we have to also, two things can be true, right? You graduated, great job. But you also just made a fool of yourself and your school and the history of that school. And nobody cares. And these are the same people who was worried about Donald Trump and who was performing at Donald Trump's Black History Month and worrying about prices of eggs and like I said, I actually did a video on this. Go back and look at my video. I talked about that we are more concerned with boots on the ground and a flag and a fan than we are our culture. We are only upset when the things make us upset, and then we move on from it. And I know you guys gonna call me Uncle Tom, a coon, that's fine. But I'm gonna always bring my people to the front of the congregation because this has to change. This is not a behavior that we can condone, period. Period. So I would love to hear your guys' opinions, your thoughts in the bottom of the comments, good, bad, or indifferent. But as I leave every video, God loves you, which is most importantly. I love you. You're beautiful, and your boy's out. Let go.